Okay, welcome in one and all. I'm now going to be reviewing all of Saturday night's action in the NHL. There were 13 games on tap, therefore 26 teams were playing against each other. Starting with the two teams you see on your screen between the New York Islanders and the Montreal Canadiens. There were no goals to report in the first. We have to jump ahead to the second, where Yoel Armia would kick things off for the Habs, getting his fourth goal of the season from Gallagher and Gooley, 7 minutes and 45 seconds into that frame. Anderson would then get his second goal of the season, doubling up the lead to 2-0, getting assists from Barron and Monahan, 10 minutes and 35 seconds into that frame. Anderson would then get his second goal of the game, his third of the season, from Monahan and Barron, with 54 seconds remaining in the period. And just 15 seconds after that, Cole Caulfield would then increase the lead to 4-0, getting his 8th of the season from Suzuki and Slavkovsky. 49 seconds remaining in that period. So it was 4-0 for the Montreal heading into the third. Brock Nelson would finally get the Islanders on the board, his 14th of the season from Dobson, 2 minutes and 7 seconds into that frame, a short-handed mark, I should say. He would then get his second goal of the game, his 15th of the season, a minute and 36 seconds after that, assisted by Dobson yet again. So at that point, the lead was cut to 4-2. Bo Horvat would then score with 5 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in that period, getting his 12th goal of the season from Dobson and Romanov. So Dobson had 3 assists in the game. That's pretty good for a defenseman. So cutting the deficit to 4-3. And then with 20 seconds remaining, Christian Dvorak would get an empty net goal, his second of the season from Nick Suzuki. So the Habs almost blew a 4-0 lead, but they were still able to prevail and win 5-3. With that, they're now at the 500 mark, and I feel like this is going to be where they're at, like for most of the season, like win, lose, win, lose, win, win, lose, lose kind of a thing. 13, 13, and 4, and despite the loss, the Islanders are still playing very well. They are in the top 3 of their respective division, 14, 8, and 8. All right, the next game takes place in Minnesota, where they were playing host to the Vancouver Canucks. So you should see the teams on your screen right away. All right, take a look at the goal scoring summary. Excuse me. So Gaudreau would kick things off. In the first, it'd be a late goal with 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining, his second goal of the season from Foligno and Maroon. In the second, Bluegar would tie things up 3 minutes and 50 seconds into that frame, getting his third goal of the season from Joshua and Garland. There were no goals to report in the third, no goals in overtime. We had to jump ahead to a shootout where Matt Zuccarello would pot the game-winning goal for the Wild. So with that, the Wild are 12, 12, and 4. And despite the loss, the Canucks are still top 3 in their division, 29 and 2. All right, an original 6th matchup is coming up between the New York Rangers and the Boston Bruins. So you should see the teams on the screen as we speak. All right. So there are no goals report in the first. You have to jump ahead to the second, where Frederic would kick things off 2 minutes and 7 seconds into that frame, assisted by Van Riemsdyk and Polt-Trace. In the third, a power play goal was scored by Trocheck to tie things up at 1, his 7th of the season from Zibanejad and Fox. That would be a power play goal. And then Trocheck would then get his second goal of the game, his 8th of the season from Panarin and Gustafsson in overtime, 2 minutes and 3 seconds into that frame. So Trocheck played the hero for the Rangers on this particular night. So with the victory, the Rangers are now 27-1. I apologize. And with the loss, again, the Bruins are still 19-5-5. Both these teams are still top of their respective divisions. All right, the next game takes place in Columbus, where we have the Blue Jackets, and they were playing host to the New Jersey Devils. All right, take a look at the goal scoring summary between these two squads. Jack Hughes would kick things off just 47 seconds into the first, getting his 12th of the season from Tyler Toffoli. Eric Holla would then increase the lead to 2-0, getting his 8th of the season from Mercer and Holtz with 3 minutes and 49 seconds. 3 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the period. So it was 2-0 for the Devils after one. Marchenko would finally get the Blue Jackets on the board, getting a power play goal 17 seconds into that middle frame, his 10th of the season from Johnny Gaudreau. Tyler Toffoli would then score 30 seconds after that, getting his 13th goal of the season from Jesper Bratt, increasing the lead to 3-2. Chinnikov would then cut into the lead, making it 3-2, getting his 8th goal of the season from Peak and Voronov. And then Jack Hughes would get his 2nd goal of the game, his 13th of the season from Bratt and Hischier, a power play goal with 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the frame. So it's 4-2 in favor of the Devils after 2. Hischier would score 2 minutes and 50 seconds into the third, getting his 7th of the season from Bratt, increasing the lead to 5-2. Texier would decrease the lead to 5-3, getting his 6th goal this season from Fantilli and Jirchek with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go. But at that point, it was too little too late. Jack Hughes would then get an empty netter with 48 seconds to go in the period. His 3rd goal of the game, therefore it was a hat trick, and his 14th of the season. So with that, the Devils improved to 16-11-1. And with a loss, the Blue Jackets still bottom of that Metropolitan Division, 10-17-5. All right, now we're off to Philadelphia, where they were playing host to the Detroit Red Wings. There. So you should see the teams on the screen as we speak. All right, so in the first, Kane Rourke would open up the scoring, his 5th of the season from Konechny and Forrester, 6 minutes and 21 seconds into that game. And that would actually be the only game, or only goal from the game. So the Flyers winning in a shutout, 1-0. So with the victory, the Flyers are 17-10-3, and despite the loss, the Red Wings are still 4 games above 500, 15-11-4. All right. Excuse me. Now we're off to Toronto. We have the Maple Leafs playing host to the Pittsburgh Penguins. So the teams shall appear on your screen right away. All right. All right, so in the first, Matthew Knies will kick things off for the Leafs, getting his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Max Domi, 1 minute 57 seconds into that frame. Marner would double up the lead to 2-0, 10 minutes and 15 seconds into that frame, getting his 13th of the season from Robertson and Domi. McCann would get his first goal as a member of the Maple Leafs, assisted by Tyler Bertuzzi and Holmgren, with 1 minute and 35 seconds to go in that period. So it was 3-0 in favor of the Leafs heading into the second. Domi would increase the lead to 4-0, getting his 2nd goal of the season from Knies and Marner, 2 minutes and 28 seconds into that frame. John Tavares would increase the lead to 5-0, a power play goal, 4 minutes and 25 seconds into that period. His 9th of the season from Nylander and Riley. Gregor would then increase the lead to 6-0 with just under 6 minutes to go in that period. His 5th of the season from Bertuzzi and Timmins, a power play goal to note. And jump ahead to the third, where William Nylander would then make it a 7-0 affair. His 15th of the season from Bertuzzi and McCabe, with 5 minutes and 41 seconds, 5 minutes and 41 seconds, left to go in that game. So a monster victory for the Leafs, 7-0 was the final score. With that, they are now 16-6-6, and with the loss, the Penguins are right around that 500 mark, 13-13-3. All right, now it's off to the Central Division, where we have the host team in the Winnipeg Jets, and they were playing against the Colorado Avalanche. So 2 teams from the Central Division that are in the top 3 of their divisions. So 2 very good teams facing off against each other. Okay, so in the first, Velarde would kick things off scoring-wise, with his third goal of the season from Shifley and Morrissey. That goal would happen with just over 6 minutes to go in the frame. Excuse me. Namestnikov would then increase the lead to 2-0, getting his third of the season from Iafallo and Bianc. A power play goal with 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the frame. In the second, Iafallo would increase the lead to 3-0, getting his fifth goal this season, 8 minutes and 43 seconds into that frame. There were no assists on his score. John head to the third. Jonathan Drouin would finally get the Avalanche on the board, making it 3-1, his fourth of the season from Rantanen and McKinnon, 2 minutes and 7 seconds in that third period. A power play goal to note. Velarde would then increase the lead to 4-0, getting his second goal of the game, his fourth of the season from Ehlers and Morrissey, 3 minutes and 40 seconds into that frame. Nito Niederreiter would then increase the lead to 5-1, getting his eighth of the season from Namestnikov and Appleton, 8 minutes and 48 seconds into that frame. Jack Johnson would get the Avalanche their second goal of the game, his second of the season from Nichushkin and McKinnon, 10 minutes and 41 seconds into that frame. And at that point, the game was pretty much done. Nick Ehlers would then increase the lead to 6-2 with 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the game, his 10th of the season, assisted by Mark Scheifele. So with the victory, the Jets are 18-9-2. And despite the loss, like I said, the Avalanche are still 18-10-2. So both these teams are neck and neck when it comes to the standings in their division. All right, now we're off to the Music City, where we have the Nashville Predators, and they're playing host to the Washington Capitals. So you should see the teams pop up on the screen momentarily. Okay, there we go. I'll take a look at the goal scoring summary between these two squads. Sissons would kick things off for the Predators in the first, getting his 10th goal this season from Josi and Forsberg, a power play goal to note, 5 minutes and 3 seconds into that opening frame. In the second, TJ Oshie would tie things up with a power play goal of his own, his second of the season from Dylan Strome and Ovechkin, 5 minutes and 16 seconds into that frame. Tomasino would get a goal with 6 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the period, his second of the season from Smith. And then jump ahead to the third, where Trennan would increase the lead to 3-1, getting his 7th goal this season from Carrier and McCarron, 3 minutes and 41 seconds into that third period. So 3-1 would be the final score. So with that, the Predators improved to 18-13-0, and with a loss, the Washington Capitals, they're still 5 games above 500, I should note, 14-9-4. All right, now we're going back. I guess the Predators are technically in the Central Division, but now we're going back to two teams from the Central that were duking it out for 2 points. So we're heading to Missouri, where the St. Louis Blues were hosting the Dallas Stars. So teams should appear on the screen as we speak. All right. So the Stars, along with the Avalanche and the Winnipeg Jets, are in that top 3 in that division. The Blues are kind of hovering around that wild card spot. So again, two points can go a long way for either of these teams. Marchand will kick things off about 5 minutes into that first, getting his 10th of the season from Sagan and Duchesne. Dellandre would get his first goal of the season for the Dallas Stars, 6 minutes and 47 seconds into that period, assisted by Faksa and Steele. Brandon Saad with a power play goal, 6 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in that period. Sorry, 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Wow. Remaining in that opening period, getting his 8th of the season from Kyrou and Hayes, a power play goal. So 2-1 in favor of the Stars after 1. Kyrou would tie things up 1 minute and 36 seconds into that frame, getting his 6th of the season from Krug and Thomas. Hayes would then give the Blues their first lead of the game, his 9th of the season from Torpachenko and Krug, with 3 minutes and 14 seconds to go in that period. With just under 7 minutes to go in the third, Dandonov would get his 7th goal of the season to tie things up from Heiskanen and Harley. And then we have to jump ahead to overtime, where the Blues would get the game-winning goal from Colton Parayko, his 5th of the season from Kyrou and Thomas, with 37 seconds into that period. So with the victory, the Blues are 15-14-1, right around that 500 mark. And as I said before I started reviewing this, the Stars are still quite elite in that top 3 of their division, 17-8-4, despite the loss. All right, now we're off to Arizona. So we're still technically in the Central Division for the home team at least, and the Arizona Coyotes, who are playing host to the Buffalo Sabres. There. All right, let's take a look at the goal scoring summary. No goals to report in the first. We have to jump ahead to the second, where Clayton Keller would open up the scoring with Clayton Keller, I apologize, would open up the scoring with 4 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in that period, his 10th of the season from Alex Kerfoot. And then jump ahead to the third. Logan O'Brien would make it 2-0, getting his third of the season from Logan Cooley, 9 minutes and 36 seconds into that period. So with that, the game finished as a 2-0 final. So with the victory, the Coyotes are now 15-13-2, 2 games above 500. And with the loss, the Sabres are now 3 games below 500, 13-16-3. All right, 3 more games to cover from Saturday night. And all 3 home teams are from the Pacific Division. So the Calgary Flames, they were playing host to the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I'll pull up the team's logos on the screen, and we'll take a look at the goal scoring summary like we always do. All right, so in the second, there were no goals to report in the first. Greer would kick things off for the Flames, getting his 5th of the season from Anderson and Hanifin, 2 minutes and 30 seconds into that frame. Uyghur would then increase the lead to 2-0, is getting his 8th of the season from Mangiapane and Coleman, 6 minutes and 17 seconds into that period. And Sharon Govich, 43 seconds after Uyghur scored, would then increase the lead to 3-0, getting his 11th of the season from Oestiel and Lindholm. So it was 3-0 in favor of the Flames heading into the third. Brandon Point would get the Lightning on the board 4 minutes and 10 seconds into that third period, getting his 14th goal of the season from Kucherov. Stamkos would get a power play goal a minute and 30 seconds after that, decreasing the lead to 3-2, getting his 15th of the season from Kucherov and Hedman. And Zari would then put the game on ice with just over 8 minutes to go in the period, getting his 7th goal of the season. And Oesterl would get his 2nd goal of the season and the game. So with the victory, the Flames are now sitting 12-14-5, so just 2 games below 500, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are 14-13-5. All right, so we go from one city in Alberta to the next, and ironically, they were both playing against teams from Florida. Kind of funny how that works, right? So the Edmonton Oilers, they were playing host to the Florida Panthers. All right, let's take a look at the goal scoring summary from this game. So in the first, Connor Verhaeghe would kick things off 5 minutes and 33 seconds into that frame, getting his 14th of the season from Bennett and Ekman-Larsson. Montour would get a late goal for the Predators, increasing the lead to 2-0, getting his 1st of the season from Verhaeghe and Bennett. And with 33 seconds to go, Barkov would then increase the lead to 3-0, his 11th of the season from Sam Reinhart, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. So it was 3-0 in favor of the Panthers heading into the second. Zach Hyman would get the Oilers on the board, making it 3-1, his 18th of the season from Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And with just about 4 minutes to go in that period, Sam Bennett would increase the lead to 4-1, getting his 4th of the season from Montour and Bobrovsky. That would be a power play goal to note. In the third, just the 1 goal to report. Connor Verhaeghe would get his 2nd goal of the game, his 15th of the season from Matthew Tkachuk, just 21 seconds into that frame. So 5-1 is the final score. So with that, the Panthers have now improved to 18-10-2. And with the loss, the Oilers are now 1 game below 500, 13-14-1. All right, and now the last game from Saturday takes place in Seattle, where they were playing host to the Los Angeles Kings. So I'll pull up the team's logos on the screen, and we'll take a look at the goal scoring summary from the game. So in the first period, Adam Larson would kick things off for the Kraken, getting a second goal of the season, assisted by Shore and Dunn, 6 minutes and 45 seconds into that frame. Trevor Moore, would tie things up with just under 7 minutes to go in the period, 6 minutes and 28 seconds to be exact, getting his 14th of the season from Dano and Gala. And the second Kopitar would give the Kings their first lead of the game, getting his 12th of the season from Byfield and Kempe. 2 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the period, a power play goal to note. In the third, Bjorkstrand would tie things up with a power play goal of his own. 2.5 minutes remaining in that period, his 10th of the season from Evans and McCann. No goals to report in the overtime. We have to jump ahead to the shootout, where Grundstrom would get the game-winning goal in favor of the Kings. So with that, the Kings improved to 17-6-4, and with a shootout loss, the Kraken are now still 4 games below 500, 10-14-8. All right, that takes care of my Saturday recap for the NHL. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, I attempt to do videos on the daily. Please feel free to hit the sub button, and we'll see how this channel grows. As always, take care.